All right, welcome back. We're here today with MC Franklin. MC is a man of many talents. He's a producer, a director, comedian. He is the producer of Thursday Night Live, which airs on the Arroyo channel, and he also runs the Village Showcase, which you can find online in all sorts of places. MC, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm sweating it out, man. I actually love this time period for the time we have. Hate that it's come down to this, but yeah, I'm a surviving. I'm a survivor.
So you're doing good under quarantine, safer at home?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a time to really kind of take advantage of the fact that everything is slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
We live in such a fast-paced world. I don't think we realize how much is going on at one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're not shooting Thursday Night Live right now because you need a studio for that. At least currently you do. But I noticed you're still at it with the Village Showcase. What's going on with that?
Well, I'm actually preparing the Village Showcase to release Thursday Night Live a little more regularly. The Thursday Night Live show, it's interesting because some of our artists we've been experimenting with the isolated showcase. It's something that some people are a little more intimidated by, but at the same time, it's also something that people are like starting to kind of thrive through. So it's kind of evolving the whole idea of what the showcase can represent for some of the talent that's out there. So that's why the Village has become a place that will kind of birth some of these productions. It'll be a place that we literally want to be able to push out a bigger audience or to a bigger audience some of the productions that are going on now, especially with shows at Pasadena Media where some of these producers move on to do other things, but they have wonderful work that they've already done, like yourself. It's actually a privilege to be able to push your work that you have in this time period because people are looking for interesting stuff. They're kind of tired of seeing some of the stuff they've been seeing, and now it's an opportunity for them to see some unique, fresh takes on life.
That's a great point. So it's like we focus so much on the next thing and making the next thing, often as creators, that we forget to sit back and enjoy our creation. So what you've said, I haven't heard anyone phrase quite the same way, which is, hey, now why don't you look back, see what you've made, and push it out there? You now have a major captive audience, people at home who are looking for something new.
I guess I spent the last couple of weeks kind of not in hibernation. What's the word? I guess it's stewing.
Marinating.
Marinating. That's even better. The thing is that right now everybody's going live. Everybody's going live online. So you have just like in television, you have the competition of share.
Mm-hmm.
But what you want to do is something that's going to be lasting and something that after this is over is going to be relevant. So what you're doing with the community channel, basically with what you're doing is something that I guess I've been kind of working on or working towards for a while myself. But it was basically a platform now that producers that do have the ability to create can actually share their work right here. So what I'm doing now is basically kind of getting, tightening up the bolts on the machinery, checking under the hood.
Yeah, are you starting to collaborate with people remotely, or just in the planning process of getting some collaborations going?
Yeah, no, I am collaborating with people remotely, including Jeff Hodge, who actually hosts most of the Thursday Night Live shows. But we've been online about what we want to do with, because we work together on other things for many different projects. Including Cafe Vibe TV, which we had discussed a little bit earlier before show. He was around when I started that. But then there are other people that are talents that I've worked with on shows, as well as actors that I work with on NCIS that are, we're starting to collaborate and come up with opportunities to be engaging, with the online audience now. Again, like I said, all of a sudden online is even way more valuable than television.
That's true.
It's a place where television at this point has to give back. They got to figure out what they're going to do at this point.
And you see the world from like a humorist comedian's point of view. So like, not only I'm curious, are you writing new comedic material right now in these times, or how is your comedic point of view guiding you through these really kind of strange, unique, somewhat scary times?
Yeah, I'm doing two things. One is I'm underwriting my little videos that I'm actually starting to go live with, and maybe incorporating a little more humor there, as well as kind of developing an understanding of where I'm going at this point now that the world has stuff, because nothing's the same now. The other thing is, I have a lot of people that submit stuff to me, a lot of funny, humorous things that, are like short and sweet, like I like stuff, don't want to get too lengthy and stuff, but I'm starting to bring those things forward and share those things too, because some things just, they're funny, and in this time period, people need to laugh sometimes. I think that's, each time the world has stopped because we were broke in America, well, back in 2008, 2009, I remember that was when in 2010, I started doing comedy again. I remember the pastor of my church telling me, he said, his job leads him to tears a lot of times with the conversation he has with his congregation. We need to have comedians out there, or comedy out there to give people relief from some of the stress that we're going through now. And I think the same thing happened here recently, where Aaron kind of gave me that same cross to bear, where it's like, okay, I recognize and sometimes I kind of forget how valuable the ability to laugh is, or to be able to help people through hard times is. So I think that's probably where most of my energy is spent now. It's a matter of developing new vehicles to move into the future with. Like I think of the Stooges, shorts, short, funny, complete stories. And that's kind of where my head is now. I think that's where my humor is going. I'm ready to write short videos and carry them out.
What else do you have going today? Like I noticed you have a tie on. Was that just for us, or? I didn't even think of what I was wearing. I just realized once we got on air, I'm like, oh man, I'm wearing a quarantine shirt, not a going on TV shirt. But you look real nice. Do you have other things going on today?
No. It's just it's me and my girlfriend here. But I work every day. I get up and I try to stay focused on, that time period that work needs to get done, and again, trying to be forward thinking, and that, when this stuff is over, it's time to, do certain things, so that's basically, this is just part of, it's the same as it ever was, hey, I got to go back to work, I don't ever wear like the tie, like real tied it up. That's kind of too corporate for me. Yeah. But for me, I do like a kind of a loose tie style. So, so when I'm going to work, I'm like, let me dress up. I had a guy I went to school with in high school. His name was Hugh. We used to call him GQ. And he used to dress like this back in the day, and, fashion comes back around. This may not be in now, but at some point in life, these recordings come out and go, hey, that's kind of fresh. So that's what the tie is for.
It's great too. It symbolizes like you're off to do business, that's, and that's good. Because this is a time period people are going to be looking back to 100 years about. Historians are going to be writing about it. So like, why just, you could just sit on the couch and watch everything Netflix has to offer, but you keep going, you keep doing things. And I like how you put things out there in a very positive way too.
Well, I think that's I think that we've been handed again a mixed thing, curse and a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the curse is the virus. However it got here, it's here. And again, my heart goes out to anybody that's been touched by it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, at the same time, we have clean air now. We have air you can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have air you can see through in a lot of cases. We are actually doing the planet a favor right now, where we've been fighting through politics and special interest groups and all this other whatnot. We can see the difference that it makes,
Yeah.
that human activity makes on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
To walk outside right now, it's kind of peaceful. We don't even have much of the noise of airplane. But I think right now we've been handed an opportunity to kind of like reflect,
Yeah.
and I think it's a good thing, because we're so caught up in that. Hey, this is the age of information and communication, and I don't even have time to make sure my wig is on right.
Yeah.
I just, it's just that crazy.
Yeah.
So this slowdown here has really given me a chance to be like, okay, what did I actually come to go?
Yeah.
Let me focus on that a little bit more. And I think people should actually understand the value of time.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't learn anything else now, it's the value of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should all understand that we are definitely connected. To the point where we had to stop the world. I mean, as much as we could. And I think that we need to kind of understand, that we all are living together. And I think that, we should take the lessons that we're learning now. I think we should take heed to what's happening now. I think we should move forward with that understanding and, hopefully live better lives.
Yeah. What has changed? What is unique for you now that you didn't really think about before? Like me, I put a lot more time investing into just cooking. I've
been playing around with my guitar, which is something that I just acquired within the last couple of months. And again, I've always wanted to play the guitar, not just the guitar, the bass guitar. Now, I don't have a bass guitar yet, but I do have an acoustic that I've been kind of playing. And ironically enough, I was learning a song by the brother that just died.
Bill Withers?
Bill Withers, yes. I was learning Ain't No Sunshine When She, and I'm trying to learn how to play that. I'm not going to do it now because I don't have it down. But L.B. Smith suggested I go ahead and learn how to play that song, and I'm going to play that song. So that and relationship. I have a beautiful girlfriend who's, we've never been locked down like this. Our life has really changed in that we spend a lot more time together. So, I'm learning that I'm not the one who don't know how to communicate all the time. Yeah. I've learned that.
Yeah. We're both kind of blessed because we did have someone in our lives to get locked down with. I kind of feel for the people who either just have some roommate they didn't really know that they got stuck with and they might not like, or have nobody. Like, are you taking steps to reach out to people out there?
Yeah, I'm trying, because all of a sudden there's no excuses, and I think that's another thing that I'm spending the days trying to do, is trying to organize that, because as daunting as having control of your time can be, it still needs some type of organization for me, for me to move and be productive. Maybe an hour a day that I get back to emails or reach out to people that I've really been wanting to talk to and just haven't had a chance to, just because I'm in that busy world that, Jane, stop this crazy thing. It's like, I am beginning to reach out to people because again, there's no more excuses not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a neighbor slip a face mask under our door with a nice note. I didn't really need a face mask, but I thought that was something that's really cool. And So I've heard of other people who just leave notes under the doors of elderly people, or differently abled people that live near them, like, hey, do you need me to get you groceries, something like
Right.
that. And it's cool that in many cases people are like looking out for one another in ways.
Yes.
And getting to know their neighbors, even if you have to stand 6 feet away from them or pass notes under the door.
Right.
We're tending to examine the life that's closer to us than it was before.
Yeah, absolutely. Our neighbor did the same thing. Slipped a mask under the door with a note. And it's crazy because they have kids in there. We have a fence that joins the yards in the back. And they, the kids are out there. It's like, hey, it's great to see you kids, but I'm going to go back here because kids, I learned from having my own kids that they would bring home any kind of sickness, which is probably why my immune system, I feel, is so strong now.
Yeah.
And they're bringing home stuff that you just never planned to have. And at the same time, you're just like, okay, well, I'm immune to anything. But now, again, you obviously don't want to test that with kids around. So, I mean, they have lovely kids and everything. But it's like, hey, how you doing? No, y'all stay over there. I'm not even going to come to that 6 foot thing, But they did send us a mask over here, and that was, I thought it was just a wonderful gesture.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And last Sunday was Easter, and yes. I'm in my house, obviously, and I'm hearing horns going like crazy. So what's that? So I go out, look out the window, and there was a cavalcade of cars, and they were obviously a church. One of them had a bullhorn, saying stuff about the Lord through the bullhorn. Everyone had signs, Easter, Jesus on the cars and stuff.
Right.
And I was just like, wow, people are coming up with like, obviously they couldn't go into the same room and pray together, but they said, hey, let's all hop in our cars and, burn some oil driving around together. kind of like, good thinking. It's a good alternative to it's doing something, and you're seeing all sorts of things kind of like that just sprouting up of ways people are coming up, creative ways to connect with one another. Have you seen anything like that?
I saw a friend wish somebody a happy birthday by pulling up in a car and just putting a bunch of signs on the car from outside, just to wish somebody a happy birthday. But everybody's very kind now, especially for things, hey, how you doing? Because, again, I tried to, it's kind of hard to keep doing, but I'm trying to walk, for exercise, because you need to have the exercise. And but at the same time, where I am, I'm in Orange County right now. It's not as compact as LA, so there's space. People can actually walk, and it's not a whole bunch of walkers out there.
So you walk without running into people.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Just one tip I'll tell you probably know already, is when you get back from that walk, leave the shoes at the door, because you can step on those big coronavirus droplets and bring them in on your shoes.
Is that right?
So you've been leaving your shoes at the door, right?
I usually come in and I leave my shoes up under the coffee table because I put slippers on.
Okay.
But
as long as you got house shoes or something. But the shoes you take outside, leave them somewhere. Don't wear them around the house, because those can have coronavirus all over them.
Well, I think it's like the groceries. The groceries don't come into the house right away anymore. They have to be disinfected. They have to go through a process, as innocent as they may be. They stand at the door. And come in a few at a time.
You wipe them down.
You literally have to wipe everything down, before it comes in. So I understand that with the shoes too. I didn't think about it. It's just that, again, when I come in, that's just what I do naturally. So I didn't think about the shoes thing. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been doing your own grocery shopping?
Yeah. And it's the irony of things is, like, you could in the past conceivably buy enough groceries for 2 weeks. But a challenge we have is you go to the store now and they're out of stuff. So if you have meal prepping in mind, I think it's rather unfortunate that people I've spoken to tend to have to go to 3 or 4 stores in order to get enough supplies for 2 weeks or so. and you can't buy a head of lettuce and expect it's going to be there in a week. So I think it's unfortunate we haven't worked out like a good way. If people are at risk, I think the grocery store is probably where they're at most at risk right now. That's, I think, the hardest challenge to staying isolated.
Yeah. Well, I also think that's a kind of a vulnerable spot for us right now. I mean, between you and me, I think if I'm worried about any type of chain of events, you're concerned about the post office, obviously communicating through mail, concerned about getting packages where they need to be. Again, that's a big thing for online. And then you concern yourself about the food chain, because now are the essential workers out there working? How are they? Are they well? Are they been taken care of? Are they, are they, safe to be around the food? So again, I am concerned about that. As long as there's food coming, it's great. I'm more concerned about it when it's not coming, because I haven't been into the store and seen toilet paper on the shelf. I haven't. I have not seen toilet paper on the shelf. I've seen 2 packages one time.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't seen anybody not buying more than their own fair share, to be honest. I've seen people go and pick up the dishwashing liquids, 3 and 4 big bottles at a time. It's like, we got a lot of hoarding going on right now. So,
and hoarding's no good for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. It's
yeah, but it's, I would put, what I would recommend to people is like, just be responsible. And like, look at it every time you go to the store or you leave the door, that it's a risk. So you just have to be cautious and make sure you're going out there for an important reason.
That's the other thing. You don't leave the house frivolously anymore.
Yeah.
Even in the last couple of weeks, I've had to tame it back even more, because it would be like, oh, you know what, I'm out of wine. Let me go get some wine. Well, now it's like, well, I don't have any wine. I'll just have to wait until we make that run or two. But we just ordered from the grocery store for the first time yesterday. So the food came in the same process. It sits outside as I bring it in and get it cleaned up. But so strange, you got to clean your food after it's packaged. Yeah, it's just a weird thought. It's not like you're fishing and then cleaning the fish. It's like now it's been. but it turned out really well. As frustrating as it was for my girlfriend, she actually had to do all that, through it online. First, our date was going to be Saturday before they could actually bring us food, because everybody's being told to go online to order now, or to order delivery as opposed to going out to the store. Yeah. And then call back, and I think it's like Uber. I think that's a little tip, if anything. They may tell you Saturday, but you might call back and they'll be like, oh, you know what? Somebody's available today. Literally, that's what happened. Every time we called back, it moved up the week. It was Saturday, then it was Thursday, then it was today. They're going to deliver today. Oh, wow. And that's because, again, I think it's because it's like an Uber app where somebody goes, hey, I'm available. And you go, oh, well, right. Somebody's going to get lucky because of you. And
it's true. And we have to be like crafty and sneaky about simple things like just getting food. We have to plan out as if it's like a strategy game kind of.
Absolutely.
One tip I'll tell you and the people watching too is I discovered that restaurants, in their efforts to stay open, are now many restaurants are offering products as though they were a grocery store themselves. So even though your local grocery store might be out of tomato paste or romaine lettuce or toilet paper or whatever it is you need, why don't you call up the Italian restaurant down the street from you, and you'll find that a lot of these restaurants, they'll say, sure, I'll sell you a can of tomato paste. I won't do an ad for them here, but one chain of restaurants even changed their whole website to where you can go on and select groceries on their website. They'll bring you a basket of groceries and drop it off at your house. So just kind of think creatively like that, and think about a restaurant that might be able to get you the specific supplies you need too.
Right. And also along that same note, uh, sometimes where you would normally get something, obviously, same principles, try a different kind of place. And I say that because I've been trying to find peroxide at the drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, always empty, always empty. One day I'm in the grocery store, one of the last days I was in the grocery store, in fact. It dawns on me, I wonder if there's peroxide here.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo!
Yeah.
A shelf full of it, you know? Yeah. Not where I would think to go get peroxide in the first place, but obviously that's a good thing because I got peroxide.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Before I let you go, I want to get a recommendation from you. I'm like to have people recommend either a book, a movie, a home, a website, something that they can do with something they could spend their hours on while they're at home.
Okay. Something they should do that won't hurt their eyesight would be to check out the Village Showcase on Facebook. It's now called the Quarantine Village Showcase. And basically what we're trying to do is just give people some entertainment while they're home, you know, because, you know, we want to give you fresh perspectives on what's going on. So I suggest checking out the Village Showcase page on Facebook or the Quarantine Village Showcase page. Also, if you have a musical instrument, do it, man. It feels good to play. You know, just play. You know, and anything I got to say to anybody else, I hope you guys take advantage of the time we have right now.
Great. And thanks for talking with us today. And it's great to see that you're living well.
Thank you.
And managing, staying safer at home.
I'm trying to stay mentally sane.
And I think the people can learn a lot from your spirit and how you're approaching the whole situation we're in by staying busy, staying positive, putting on a tie in the morning. I'm going to start trying that because I have embraced the frumpy, lazy, forget to shave, old shirt.
Good look, man.
It's I'm going to try waking up with a tie and like looking like I'm ready for the world. I think that's a great tip for everyone. Thank you very much, MC. We'll be talking again soon, I'm sure, and I'll see you online. Pasadena. Our community is observing the Safer at Home order as issued by the City of Pasadena in accordance with Governor Newsom's recent state executive order. These are unprecedented times where we need to come together like never before, even when being physically separated. The Arroyo Channel, a public service of Pasadena Media, is your local community station. We are continuing to provide services to instruct the community in media and give people the tools to broadcast their unique voice. We are calling on you, the community, to use the tools available to you, like your smartphone camera or your web camera, to document your feelings and experiences during this time. We want your Safer at Home story, and we want to share it through your community platform, the Arroyo Channel. Submit a video message to us, and we may broadcast it on the Arroyo Channel and through social media. Reach out to us, and we can even arrange an online interview. To send us your video or for more information, contact studio@pasadenamedia.org. That's studio@pasadenamedia.org. And until we see you in the studio again, remember, Pasadena, stay safer at home.